Hi folks, Steve here from PS3spares.com, and what I'm going to show you is how to change over your Blu-ray. It's quite a simple process. These logic boards are paired with the motherboard, so when you receive a Blu-ray from a company like mine, you'll receive the Blu-ray that looks like that, and it doesn't have a logic board on it. So essentially you've got to remove the logic board off your old Blu-ray and put it onto the new one. Now in this particular video, this is part of the changing the motherboard video, and what I'm actually going to do is, this is a working Blu-ray, and I'm going to swap that logic board, which is from the Red Light of Death motherboard, and I'm going to put on this logic board, which is matched with the new logic board that we put, or the new motherboard that we put into our machine. I hope that makes sense. Essentially what we've got to do is we've got to remove 5 screws from the bottom of the Blu-ray, and there are 5 of these tiny little screws. So put them to one side, and as I've showed before, always have a little container so you don't lose anything. And as I say, there are 5 of these little screws, so I'll just quickly remove them. And once you've removed the screws, there are 4 data ribbons to remove, and then there's the tricky little connection which runs from the sensor down to the logic board, and we'll show you how to do that as well. So each of these data ribbons has a little clip on it, which you just, if I bring that closer, these little clips, you just put your thumb in underneath or your finger underneath and you clip them up. That one's already up. Here's another one. You just clip it up, and this last one here, your fingernail in underneath it and lift it up. Once they're lifted, data ribbons can just slide out like that. Okay, now that just lifts out, but it's still connected, so be careful. Just flip it over, and there's a little wire here. I'll show you it up close. There's a little wire there that connects to the disc sensor, and essentially, if this casing was removed, underneath there's a little sensor, and as you put a disc into the front of the machine, the sensor detects it, and that starts the cogs working, which draw the disc in. Now if that little disc isn't, or that little sensor isn't working, your machine will still work, it just won't be as smooth. You'll have to give it a bit of a push to get the disc to go in. So these are very, very tricky and very easily broken, and they're the bane of my life. Essentially you need to get the hold of the little socket, little plug that goes into the socket. Now I try different methods. One is to just get the hold of it with your fingernails and just shake back and forward, and that one come off quite easily. Sometimes they can give you trouble, but as I say, if you accidentally break it, it's not the end of the world. And from time to time I have these little wires spare, so you can always order one off the site. So there's the old logic board that goes with the Red Light of Death motherboard, and this is the new logic board that goes with our new motherboard that we fitted to the machine. So it's just simply a case of lining it up again, and make sure that you put where your ribbons goes to the back, where the ribbons are actually sitting. Just slip it underneath, just give this a bit of a pull back and line it up, and there are little lugs that it sits on. So once that's sitting nice and firm, you can start to put the screws back in. 1, 2, and that forward and hold it there in place until you get the screw in. That was 3. 4, and we'll not do 5 for the sake of time. And then to put these back in, just hold them between your thumb and finger, line them up, make sure they're square, and then clip those back down. Yet again, that's up. Put it in, there's a black line there to help you make sure it's square, clip it down. If this is slanted, take it out and do it again. There we go. And there we go, that's easy. The difficult part yet again is this, getting this in. What I tend to do with this is I grab it with a pair of tweezers and line it up. Once it's lined up, I just push it in with my fingernail. Now that one went easily, guys. Sometimes they're fiddly. So that's the new logic board on your original Blu-ray. So if I just bring our console back together, we can just finish this job. Let's just put the aerial back on first. This is the Blu-ray aerial. Wi-Fi aerial. Just screws out the back and slip it onto there, and let me just try and show you. There's a tiny little socket there, and there's a little plug on the end of their cable, and they fit together quite easily actually. Yeah, just clicked in, hopefully you heard that. And put your data ribbon in, clip it down, make sure it's horizontal or perpendicular. Line it up. Same thing, just connect the data ribbon. Drop it down, and then we need to put the power cable back in. These only go one way, so there's no chance of mixing them up. And there you go, that's your logic board changed, your motherboard changed. Everything's back together. Put the lid back on. Plug it in, switch it on, and you're ready to start playing games again. Okay, cheers. Hope this helped. You need any more help or parts or anything of that nature, PS3spares.com. Bye.